Yo, what's up, guys? This is Coach Tex, man. Got another video for y'all, man. Okay, and it's really, really important. Very, very, very important. Most of you guys have aspirations of playing college basketball at some level, but there are a lot of things that go into college basketball that your high school coach won't tell you a lot of times because he's never experienced it. Your parents, brother, okay, it just depends, man, on different situations. But you need to know these 4 or 5 things that I'm gonna give you as a kind of like a base for recruiting. Okay, now listen, I didn't play at Duke or North Carolina or anything, but not only did I play at a university at some point, I played at all different ranks. Other than prep school, I played in high school at a high level. I played in junior college. I know how that works. I played D1 and I played D2. And then I coached after that. And coaching at a junior college let me meet a bunch of different guys from a bunch of different levels and how they go about recruiting from NAIA to Division II, Division III, mid majors, low majors, high major. I've met a bunch of guys that you've seen on TV, a bunch of coaches that you've seen on TV in person. That coach at a high level, and just having talks with them and picking their brain and them picking my brain and stuff. Sometimes a lot of the stuff they gave off and the stuff that I didn't know as a player that they look for and stuff that does matter and doesn't matter. So we're gonna get right into it. Now, guys, when you listen to this, make sure if you have questions, y'all hit me up on my Instagram at Penguin Hoops or hit me up on my email at dfwpenguins@gmail.com. All right. So this is just these are very important, but these are just the not small, but these are just 5 things. There's so many things that go into recruiting, but let's get right into it. Number one thing, okay, regardless of what you guys may think, these recruiting sites, like these ranking sites, like Rivals.com, is one of the main ones that I know of. Rivals, which is Texas Hoops, which is a branch off of Rivals, I think, especially if you live in Texas. Texas Hoops, man, when coaches come from out of the state or whatever, they go automatically to Texas Hoops. Like, regardless of what your summer league coach or AU coach told you, like, they go to these recruiting sites like, yo, who is the best guy in this area? Like, who are the good guys in this area? Like, I remember I was coaching in college. This guy, I was cool with a coach from California. And he came and asked me, he was like, this is at the time when I was coaching. He was like, yo, like, I'm out here I'm supposed to go to this tournament or whatever. But he was like, man, like who's good? Like, how do I, like, what's the recruiting site? And I automatically told him, like, Texas Hoops, right? Now, some of these other little sites, these are regular guys that like basketball and they come up with their own rankings. Man, these college coaches have been using the same formula for years, and they're going to go to the same guys. And then they figure out stuff through there or where they can find other guys in niches. But a lot of times, these recruiting sites control your future. So the earlier you can get on varsity the earlier you can get on these recruiting sites, the better. Because they go from there. And when they rank you high or low, I mean, it doesn't matter. Once you get on there and if you're in the top 50, some of these schools on start coming to you. Now, another very, very important thing, coaches talk. So let's say I'm the coach from Texas A&M, right? And I'm looking for a guard, right? So I go to this game to see this guard. I go to this tournament and see this guard, right? Now, I go see this guard. He's pretty good. Now, I got a buddy in a whole nother conference that's looking for, like I said, A&M is high major, right? And I got a buddy in a whole nother conference that's a low major or a mid major, and he's looking for a big, right? So I'm at this game, and I'm looking at this guard, and I see this big, that's 6'8", and I'm talking to the guy over the phone. He might be one of my coaching buddies, or run into him at another event outside of there. He's like, yo, I'm like, man, what you out here looking for? Oh, man, I'm looking for a big, like kind of like a tweener, about 6'7", 6'8". Our head coach likes tweeners, right? So now this coach from A&M, even though I'm not trying to take this guy, I'm telling this other guy about you, right? So Coaches talk like that all the time. Now, they all know it's a scramble for the top players and all that good stuff. But for the most part, they talk, and if they're friends, they talk even more and tell each other about players, especially if it's a player they feel like they can't get, or a player that'll be, not good enough to play in that program, or a player that they don't need. They tell other coaches about it. So that's really important. Another thing, guys, letters don't mean shit. You getting letters from schools don't mean anything. Guys, I remember when I got my first letter in high school, and I got my first letter in high school. I was so hyped, right? So it had like a questionnaire in it. I sent back that questionnaire. I wrote all this stuff out, telling my mom about it. I'm writing all the information down, all this stuff, making sure my handwriting is right, making sure every I was dotted, every T was crossed correctly. I sent it to that school, right? So, I remember like when I got a little bit older and I ran into the coach when I was in college already. This is after I had already, I started playing. And I asked the coach from that certain school, I was like, hey man, like you were the first letter that I got. Did you ever receive it? Do you remember? He was like, dude, we send out that stuff like junk mail. Like you get an email, like you get coupons from Kroger. Like they just send that stuff out. Unless it's handwritten by the coach, which they're not gonna do that too much anymore. Unless it's handwritten, it doesn't matter. They just send that stuff out. You may get on a mailing list. They might have a list of players from some tournament or something, right? Some long list of players. And they say, okay, hey, send it to the person that does emails or media person. Like, hey, send a mass letter to all these guys from this tournament. They don't even know who you are. So, guys, I don't want to bust the bubble when you get your first letter, but if a coach really wants to contact you, he's going to find your number. These coaches go on your Instagram, they're going on your Facebook, they'll contact your mom, your aunt, your coach, your principal. They will figure out a way to get in contact with you or your parents when it's the legal time to do it, and maybe even the illegal time to do it. So letters don't mean anything. All right. Another big thing. Some of these guys that I know, they're so worried about playing on these super duper AAU teams, man. Guys, it helps. Like, don't get me wrong, it helps a whole lot. But at the end of the day, no matter if you play on a crappy AAU team or whatever, like you got to remember that AAU and all that stuff is to help you get prepared for the school season. And these, like I said, these college coaches go during times where it's an open period. Open period is when coaches can actively recruit guys and go to tournaments and see them and communicate with them and stuff like that. Now, all these other tournaments you may play, let's say you play on some super AAU team and y'all play 3 tournaments a month. Okay? Maybe one of those tournaments will be tournaments where coaches can come out and see you. So maybe one of those a month, or maybe 2 a month, or tournaments where they can actually come out and see you. And if they actually see you, they see you during that time. But all these other tournaments and leagues and stuff, they're not going to always be there. So if that's your main thing, yeah, playing on these big-time Nike teams and stuff, yes, it is great, okay? But if you don't, just know that from school ball and possibly rankings and you kicking ass on varsity or whatever, these coaches will find you quickly. If you're good enough, they will find you. One of my junior college teammates, and he was signed with a Division I school. He was undersized, he was ranked pretty low. He ended up getting a scholarship, but he played on a really, really crappy AAU team. And even if I think honestly that if he would have played on a high AAU team, maybe it would have helped. But still, they found him, like from school ball. And he played on a crappy high school team as well. He ended up signing to Lamar University out of high school. But they found him, man. He didn't play on a super high-profile team. Now, maybe that would have helped, but at the end of the day, guys, like I said, if a coach wants you, these coaches, if you're good, they're going to find you, and it doesn't matter where you at. If you're kicking butt on varsity, like the word is going to get around because people talk. and these coaches gonna slowly you might start off with small schools, mid-major schools to high schools. They're gonna find you. You got to find the niche of what school that you want to go to. Now, one last thing, I'm gonna talk about this real quick because I don't want this video to go too long. I know you guys' attention spans are pretty low. Your high school varsity high school coach and your AAU coach can either hinder you or help you out. Now we're gonna start out with the high school coach. The high school coach. Now, let's say if you go to a school it has a coach that's not used to handling recruits and stuff like that, or recruiting situations. Some of these coaches may not answer the phone for these coaches. They might not know how to handle it. They may not know what to look for in the school. They may not know how to read if the coach really wants you or not, or if you're just like a bottom recruit. All that stuff comes into play when you're getting recruited by schools. So, man, I'm telling you, like I had a high school coach at one point, man. I had letters and stuff when I was a junior, and I was all right, but he never gave me my letters. Never. So I didn't know anything. It was kind of like a mind thing to where he thought that I thought I was too good, so he wouldn't give me any letters. Like other kids in the program would get theirs. I remember one time one of my buddies in high school, he was like, "Yo, I was in coach's office, man. You got a couple of letters." I was like, "What?" He was like, because I'm thinking like, ain't nobody looking at me, man. Like, he's like, "Man, you got a couple of letters. I saw like you got a stack about this big, because your stack was next to this guy's stack and this guy's stack." He never gave me one letter, ever. I transferred to a different school where a coach was more used to handling it and wasn't playing games. As soon as I got any mail, we would meet in the classroom before workouts, and he would hand them out. Like, here, you got letters from here. This guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, and just the way he handled stuff was a whole lot better. Now, the other downsides to it, my high school coach, my senior year, he would try to do package deals with guys. So let's say if this junior college or this college wanted me, he would try to sell the coach, "Hey, if you take him, I'm bringing him." Now, on his end, he's helping kids out, right? Because he's trying to get two guys into college, and one of them possibly wouldn't get any scholarship, period, which is great, right? But if I'm a school and I'm a college coach and I only want this guy, and you telling me I got to take this guy and this guy in order to recruit the guy that I really want, I'm going, at some point, I'm getting frustrated and I'm done, right? I mean, it's a bunch of different things. Coaches not knowing how to handle calls, not knowing how to get you eligible for SATs and clearinghouse and all that stuff. That shit is important, man. So if you guys start getting recruited, the first time you get a call or something like that from a coach, because they will contact you or your mom, man, make sure that you contact somebody or get somebody that you trust that's gone through the process. Even me, man, if you need some help from me, I mean, I'll help you and tell you everything that these coaches are looking for, how to handle, if it's BS or not. All of this stuff is totally different from different levels of the game, so you got to understand that too. Your AAU coach, the same way. A lot of these AAU coaches, man, except for maybe the head of it, like if you have an actual coach, the coach that's actually coaching your team, if you're on the team with a club or an AAU program with a bunch of different teams, you know, it's always the head guy. Then it might be a second guy, and then it's a bunch of coaches, right? Your coach, a lot of times, if they haven't played at a high level, they can hurt you. Your head guy can hurt you. So I'll just give you one example of how an AAU coach can hurt you a little bit. All right. Now, these AAU coaches a lot of times they get sponsorship and stuff from Nike, Adidas, other stuff, right? So let's say I'm a Nike guy, right? And you play for Team Nike out of California or something, or Dallas or whatever, and they're Nike sponsored. Now, Nike controls stuff with your AAU coach and your program. You're gonna play all Nike tournaments when they have them. You're gonna wear Nike stuff. They're not gonna let you wear any other sneakers and stuff around them that aren't Nike. And also, they're going to encourage you to go to a school or college that is sponsored by Nike, especially if you're a high major player. Man, I'm telling you guys, you don't know this stuff. You may not even know what's going on. But if I'm the head of a Nike AAU program, right? They're paying me or sponsoring what we got going. I'm not going to let my best top players in my 17 and under go and play, or I'm going to make it easy for them, Adidas school, to recruit these guys. So your dream school may be Texas, right? I think they're sponsored by Nike, right? And you play for Adidas team, right? And Texas is hard on your ass. Your AAU coach, a lot of times, especially if you're super high profile, he is going to make it hell on Texas to recruit your ass a lot of times because he's over here on this team, right? He's on the Adidas team over here, and Texas is a Nike school. He's going to try to send you. I think A&M, he'll rather send you there because they're an Adidas school. Does that make sense? And sometimes these coaches take it so far as like, yo, don't contact me, don't contact my player, this, that, and other. Like, you know we don't play that over here. We're a Nike school, or we're Adidas school, or we're a Puma school, or whatever the hell it is. Okay? So just know that a lot of times, I mean, this stuff goes on, and they have heavy battles, heated arguments, stuff like that over these kids because of the branding of the school. If I'm a super high-profile guy, and I've been playing for a Nike team all through the ranks, grassroots, all this stuff, and a high-profile Adidas school is recruiting me, my AAU coach is not going to make it easy on that Adidas school to do it. Same thing with your high school coach too, maybe. Maybe you go to a high-profile high school and they're sponsored by a certain brand. Their high school coach may make it hard on them to do that as well. It just depends on who he is, and how he handles stuff. All right? Guys, I have so many other things that I can tell you guys, but we'll be here all day talking about it. If you guys have any questions, make sure you email me. The email will be below at dfwpenguins@gmail.com, or you can hit me up on Instagram at Penguin Hoops. All right? Guys, keep working, man. Stay on your grind. Know what's going on when it comes to recruiting. Get your clearinghouse, all of that stuff. Know what your GPA and your SAT, ACT scores need to be in order for you to be qualified to get recruited. Not get recruited, but qualify to play college ball, all right? I'll see you guys on the flip-flop.